Welcome to Shiny New Clients, the marketing podcast that helps you attract shiny new clients to your business. We'll talk about social media, what makes people buy, how to go viral, and marketing psychology, all in 20 minutes or less. Whether you're a coach, a stylist, or a wedding planner, if you've got a service-based business to sell, this is the show you need to fill your calendar. I'm Jenna Warner, your new marketing coach, and this is Shiny New Clients. Want to make better social media content faster? Step into my office. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenna, and I own a social media management agency, which means I don't just have experience growing my own Instagram account, almost 100,000 followers, but I also have helped businesses all over the world grow their account, create consistent content, and get clients from what they're posting. So let me take you back to when I worked alone in my business and I had multiple accounts to run and I was whipping up content on the fly all the time. I remember I had one of my very first clients. We had an agreement where I would always post by noon, and there were a lot of mornings when I was making the content to be posted before noon that morning. I had a really hard time getting ahead of my schedule and having content mapped out in advance because that's a skill that takes strategy. We're not born being able to batch content and plan it out ahead of time, right? And when I was first getting into the content creation game, I wasn't fast like I am now. I didn't have the tricks in my pocket, the tricks that I now teach my clients and processes on how to go faster. So when I had, say, 10 projects on the go, if I spent an hour on a post, what would that mean? Yeah, exactly. It would mean that there's not enough hours in the day for me to manage everyone's accounts. So it simply wasn't an option. We couldn't be spending an hour on each post. Not realistic, not going to happen. And I know the same is for you. We can't be spending an hour on a post. So we can't have posts taking an hour. We got to go out there and live our lives. We've got to be able to run our business. We've got to save time. What do? Let me tell you. Shortcuts, streamlining, and batching. And before you get scared and go, I've already batched before, Jenna, and it didn't work for me, you didn't batch my way. And I'm going to tell you the mistakes that you were probably making if you ever gave it a go before, all right? Because the slowest way to make content is one post at a time. And batching your content doesn't mean creating one post entirely, scheduling it, and then creating Tuesday's post entirely and scheduling, and creating Wednesday's post entirely and scheduling it. That's not what it means. That's still just as slow as if you woke up every morning and posted something, right? That's still making posts one at a time. The fast way to do it, the way that a good social media manager is doing it, and the way that I learned to do it is to batch steps. For instance, my clients create a consistent content strategy. We call it the idea generator because the way we do it helps you generate dozens, if not hundreds, like lots and lots of ideas. Actually, someone just submitted their content strategy to me the other day and had over 400 ideas. I'm like, that is wild. She's wild. She has like one of those generator brains, I guess. But also, when you get in the zone of coming up with ideas, you start coming up with more ideas, right? You get in the zone, you buckle down, you follow prompts or maybe a brainstorm like the one my clients use, and you start coming up with all of these ideas, which means you're doing all of that content ideation in one step, right? That's going to be step one of your batching process, coming up with all the ideas. Then all your ideas are sitting there. You don't need to wake up on a Wednesday morning, come up with an idea, film the idea, caption the idea, edit the idea, add hashtags on the idea. Like, that's the slowest way to do it. We want to come up with all our ideas at once. And then every step of the batching process, the way my clients do it, is like that. You are batching steps, not posts. I think I said this last week too, because I talked about this last week on the show as well, but every productivity expert is going to tell you that task switching tires you out, right? Task switching uses a lot of energy, and that's when you're going from one task to the next, to the next, to the next. So the best way to batch your content is to batch steps instead. It might feel like creating a post on the fly is easier, takes less mental energy, but because you're task switching and you're doing all of those pieces of the puzzle at once, and you're probably stressed because if you're like me, you're waking up and you see that noon deadline, or maybe you miss a day, or maybe you discover it's Friday and you haven't posted all week and then you have all this guilt and shame. This can all be avoided. Posting on the fly causes so many problems. And not to really overcomplicate things, but if posting on the fly sometimes is fun for you, you can still do it. But how good would it feel to have all your content for the month planned out, created in a fraction of the amount of time that it takes you now? And then if an idea comes to you, you can pop online and you can post it, and you can do that on top of your daily posts. How good would that feel? It makes those special moments feel really fun and actually in the moment. And then those have a good chance of really popping off, right? In the content strategy, we always say leave room for magic. We want you to have 5 posts at least scheduled every single week. A lot of the people in my program are now faster than me at it. They can sit down in a couple of hours, create all of their content, and then you leave room for magic. So if something comes to you, you can still just pop it up online and have fun. Another mistake folks make is not using Quickie Content Types, right? If every post that you're making takes you pulling out your DSLR camera and filming this elaborate sketch, well, yeah, that's going to be really hard to keep up with, and it's not necessary. Often the content that takes the least amount of effort is the stuff that's going to take off because you haven't overthought it, you haven't overmade it, it still feels organic, it still feels fun for people. A lot of people come to me and they're creating content that is so in-depth and so advanced that it's just not built for social media. So if you take one long piece of content, we could probably chop it up into 5 smaller pieces of content. And once you start to recognize that, you can create Quickie Content Types. And when my clients show me their content strategies and I review them, I'm always like, is there at least one thing here that you can create really quickly? Just off the cuff, doesn't take long. We can film it in 5 minutes or whatever, which is going to be strategic in multiple ways. It's strategic in that you can actually sustain this strategy, so you're going to keep up with it. And for all the people out there who are going to be more receptive to that quickie short content, now you have something every week that speaks to those people, because not everybody wants to sit down and really go deep in a post, right? Not everybody has the mental capacity to be doing that. So it's strategic in multiple ways to build that into your strategy. Right now on Instagram, we're playing a quantity game. Posting one really good post a week just doesn't do it anymore. Even if that post gets pretty good numbers, you're going to get better numbers if you post more. You're going to get better numbers if you post more. And reach always ebbs and flows. Even for the best creators out there, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. And the only way that you can control having a steady flow of people coming to you is to increase your output. Think about it this way. If you're only getting, quote unquote, only, I don't like only, but anyway, if you're only getting 100 views on every reel and you post one reel, you got 100 views. If you post 5 reels, you now have 500 views, and they're all going out to a certain percentage of your followers and a certain percentage of strangers. You are immediately 5xing your odds of attracting clients, of finding your people, of growing your account while getting better at content creation, honing what works. It is a quantity game. There is absolutely no doubt about it. So if it's a quantity game, how do we get you creating more content? The answer? Systems, shortcuts, and batching. When I work with business owners inside my program, Magic Marketing Machine, we give them the 7 must-have Canva templates so you can create graphics really, really quickly. The idea generator that I mentioned, where you fill out a brainstorm and it helps you generate tons and tons and tons of ideas. A lot of people come to me and they tell me they have more ideas than they can even use. I give away my hashtags in one click to help you automate your hashtags. There's an entire module on batching and automating. We give you reusable caption formulas. So if writing is your weakness or you have a hard time just formulating your thoughts into a caption, you can use our templates and our formulas or our post prompts, so many tools inside this program to speed you up. Why? Because when I was creating this program and I was talking to small business owners about what they needed and where their big hangups were on getting clients from Instagram, all of them said they don't want to waste time and it takes too long. So I'm like, all right, cool. I know how to speed things up. I had to do it in order to survive when I was running multiple accounts all by myself. So here's how to speed yourself up. As always, if you're ready to work with me inside Magic Marketing Machine, come on in. The doors are open and I promise you won't regret it. You can click the show notes or go to www.magicmarketingmachine.com to watch a free training that shows you the exact strategy my clients use in the program and gives you an opportunity to enroll and come on in and work with us. That's all from me, beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. That's all from me. I'll see you in the next one.